Hello everyone, this is Dr. Surya. Today we are going to see about flow through pipe in series or flow through compound pipes. We call this as compound pipes also. So either we can call it as flow through pipe in series or compound pipes. So what does it mean? It means that the pipes of different lengths and of different diameters are connected from one end to another end in series. If you see here, there are two tanks, that is A tank and B tank is here, and these two tanks are connected by different pipes of different diameter, different length, and coefficient of friction can also be different. So they are connected in series to form a pipeline, and this is called as pipe in series or compound pipes. So the pipes of different lengths and different diameters, they are connected from end to end, that is starting from this end to this end. So end to end they are being connected in series to form a pipeline, and this is called as a pipe in series or compound pipes. So here L1, L2, L3 are going to be the length of pipes in pipe 1. This is pipe 1, this is pipe 2, and this is pipe 3. So L1, L2 and L3 are length of pipes 1, 2 and 3 respectively, and D1, D2, D3 are diameter of pipe, V1, V2, V3 are velocity of flow through pipe, F1, F2, F3 are coefficient of friction, and H is going to be the difference in water levels between two tanks. So you can see here, so this is the water level in A tank and this is the water level in B tank. So the difference in water level is denoted by H. So I have written all the things here. Now we'll go to the derivation. That is, whatever the amount I have discharged from A, the discharge will be the same, that is the rate of flow will be the same, only the area or velocity is going to be the different one. So here the discharge is going to be the same. So whatever I release from tank A, it will reach the tank B. So the discharge will be, that is passing through each and every pipe, it is going to be the same. So Q is same for all pipes. That means if you apply continuity equation, it becomes A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 is equal to A3 V3. If some more pipes are added, that also we can write it as A4 V4 and so on. Okay. So what is the difference in liquid surface level? This will be equal to the sum of total head loss. Okay. So I will be writing it as difference in liquid surface level. That becomes I can keep it as H, and I can take this as 0.5. I'm accounting for minor loss also. 0.1 V1 squared by 2G plus major loss is friction loss. So 4 F1 L1 V1 squared by 2GD 1 plus 0.5 V2 squared by 2G plus 4 F2 L2 V2 squared by 2G D2 plus V2 minus V3 the whole squared by 2G plus 4 F3 L3 V3 squared by 2G D3 plus V2 squared by 2G. So here I have accounted for minor losses also. Okay, now I'll tell you how these minor losses are accounted. So if you take in the figure, so this is going to be the entry. So we have seen that loss due to entry in the pipe. So for that, in order to account that, we have taken 0.5 V1 squared by 2G. Then the friction loss in pipe 1, and next is 0.5 V2 squared by 2G. So this is nothing but there is a sudden contraction in pipe 2. From pipe 1 to pipe 2 there is sudden contraction. So due to that sudden contraction, that we are taking it minor losses. So this is due to entry in pipe and this is due to contraction in pipe, and next is my major loss, that is due to friction, and this is going to be the enlargement, because from V2 to V3 the pipe is getting enlarged here, so that I have accounted here, and then plus major loss, friction loss, and then this is going to be the exit from pipe. So this is how you have to account for your minor loss. So we have to be very careful whether the water is entering here or it is getting contracted or getting enlarged, and if there is any pipe fittings, so accordingly we have to take into account of the minor losses. So according to the figure only, here I have taken the minor losses, and this is not the correct formula, because there may be changes. Initially the pipe can be enlarged, and then the pipe can be contracted, or in between some pipe fittings can be given. So you have to read when a problem is given, the problem should be read carefully, and accordingly the minor losses should be included then and there. So this value is according to what the figure is drawn earlier. According to that I have written the minor losses. Okay, now supposing if the minor losses are counted, then the equation only, if I am having that major losses alone, the equation will become F is equal to 4F1 L1 V1 squared by 2G D1 plus 4F2 L2 V2 squared by 2G D2 plus 4F3 L3 V3 squared by 2G D3. And also I assume that if coefficient of friction is same, and just an assumption, coefficient of friction is same for all the pipes, it means F is equal to F1 equal to F2 equal to F3. So if that is the case, H will be equal to 4F L1 V1 squared by 2G D1 plus 4F L2 V2 squared by 2G D2 plus 4F L3 V3 squared by 2G D3. So here I can take the common terms outside, that is 4F by 2G is common in all the values. So H is equal to 4F by 2G L1 V1 squared by D1 plus L2 V2 squared by D2 plus L3 V3 squared by D3. So this is the equation for pipe in series or compound pipes if three different pipes is given, and if you are taking into account of only major losses. Okay, now we'll work out a problem on this pipe in series. So the problem is three pipes of different diameters and different lengths have been given, and they have told that these pipes are connected in series, and the ends of these pipes are connected with tanks, and the difference in water level is 16 meter. And another important point is that coefficient of friction is going to be the same, and it is equal to 0.005, and we have to determine the discharge through the compound pipe. First we have to neglect the minor losses, and then we have to include it. So the figure we have to draw, that is two tanks are there. Okay, so I can keep like this, two tanks are there, and if you take the diameter, first is 400 mm, then 200 mm, then 300 mm. So if that is the case, first tank will be the larger one, 400 mm, second is 200 mm, and then third one is 300 mm. The purpose of drawing this figure is that we have to account for minor losses also. So if minor losses have to be accounted, then we should know the diagram, then only we can account the minor losses, where the pipe is getting contracted or where the pipe is getting enlarged. All those things only if you draw the diagram, you'll know it clearly. So that is the reason I have drawn the diagram here. So this diameter is 400 mm, and second pipe diameter is 200 mm, and third pipe diameter is, so this is going to be the diameter D1, D2, D3, which is going to be 300 mm. Okay, then they have given the difference in water level. So it means what? So this height is given to us, that is h value is given to us as 16 meter. So these are the major things we have to keep in mind. Now we can solve the problem very easily. So first thing, we'll write the given data. So difference in water level is 16 meter. So length of the pipe L1 is 400 meter and diameter D1 is 400 mm, so which is 0.4 meter. Similarly, L2 is equal to 200 meter, D2 is equal to 200 mm, which is 0.2 meter. Next, L3 is going to be 300 meter and D3 will be equal to 300 mm, which is 0.3 meter. And they have also given F is equal to F1 is equal to F2 is equal to F3 is equal to 0.005. So initially they have told that discharge through the compound pipe, first neglecting the minor losses. So we'll calculate that first. That is, we have to neglect the minor losses. So we are taking into account of only the major losses and we are going to determine it off. So the equation for major losses that we have told already. So H is equal to 4F1 L1 V1 squared by 2G D1 plus 4F2 L2 V2 squared by 2G D2 plus 4F3 L3 V3 squared by 2G T3. So here F1, F2 and F3 value is same and it is known to us. L2 value is known to us. D2 value is also known to us. H value is known to us. The unknown is going to be V1, V2 and V3. Okay, so we have to determine this V1, V2 and V3. So it is going to be very easier for us because we know our continuity equation, which is A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 is equal to A3 V3. Okay, so we can establish a relationship and between V1 and V2 or V2 and V3, and we can establish a relationship and we can keep all the terms together, that is V2 in terms of V1, V3 in terms of V1. So we can do it and we can keep the same thing. We can determine our V1 and then we can determine our discharge. So it is going to be a very easier one. So first we'll establish a relationship between these two things, which is A2 V2 is equal to A1 V1. So V2 will be equal to A1 V1 by A2, and we all know that A1 is pi by 4 D1 square, pi by 4 D2 square by V1. So my V2 is equal to D1 squared by D2 squared into V1, which is 0.4 by 0.2 the whole square into V1. So it becomes 4V1. So V2 is equal to 4V1. So instead of V2, I can substitute 4V1. Similarly, A3 V3 is equal to A1 V1. So V3 is A1 by A3 into V1, that is D1 squared by D3 squared into V1, so which is 0.4 square divided by 3 is 0.3 squared into V1. So I'll be getting V3 is equal to 1.77 V1. So we have established a relationship between V1 and V2 and as well as V1 and V3. So if you take in this equation, so the only unknown will be, in terms of V2 I can substitute V1, in terms of V3 also I can substitute what we have determined. So the only unknown will be V1 and we can easily calculate all our values. Now I'm going to substitute the values, which is 16 is equal to 4 into 0.005 into L1 is 400 into V1 square divided by D1 value is 0.4 into 2 into 9.81 plus 4 into 0.005. L2 value is 200, and instead of V1 squared I can V2 squared I can substitute 4 V1 the whole square divided by 0.2 into 2 into 9.81 plus 4 into 0.005, and the length of the pipe is 300, and instead of V3 squared I can substitute 1.77 V1 the whole square divided by 0.3 into 2 into 9.81. So here I can take the common things outside. The common things will be V1 squared by 2G, that is 2 into 9.81. So V1 squared by 2 into 9.81. Okay, now this becomes 4 into 0.005 into 400 divided by 0.4 plus 4 into 0.005 into 200 divided by 0.2 plus 4 into 0.005 into 300 divided by 0.3. So you can even take 4 into 0.005 outside, it is up to you. And I have made one mistake here, that is into 16. I have left out that thing because into 4 square. So the problem is that we will be making careless mistake here. See, you can see the 4 square. So I have left this 4 square, and similarly this 1.77 square, that also have to be taken into account. So I have forgot to take that, so I'll write it here. So into 3.157. Okay, now (16) is equal to V1 squared by 2 into 9.81 into 20 plus 320 plus 63.14. So 16 will be equal to V1 squared by 2 into 9.81 into 403.14. So I can simplify it again, that is V1 squared is equal to 16 into 2 into 9.81 divided by 403.14. So V1 will be equal to square root of 16 into 2 into 9.81 by 403.14, so which is equal to 0.882 meter per second. So I have determined my V1 value. So discharge, it's very simple. Q is equal to A1 V1. So which is pi by 4 into 0.4 square into 0.882. So Q will be equal to 0.1108 meter cube per second. And if it is in liters, we have to multiply it by 1000. So 110.8 liters per second. So we have finished our first part. Next part is that we have to consider the minor losses and we have to determine our discharge. So we are going for the second part. Second part is considering minor losses. Okay. So for this we have to go back to our figure so that only we can, what are the minor losses that we have to take into account for that. Okay, see here, the first thing is that the minor loss is that at inlet point we have to take the minor loss due to inlet, that is HI. You have to take into account of HI, head loss due to inlet, that is inlet. And second is that the pipe is getting contracted, so I have to take into account of HC. From 1 to 3 it is getting contracted, and if you take here the pipe, it is getting enlarged, that is I have to take into account of head loss due to enlargement. And the next one is the water is getting outletted, so I have to take into account of head loss due to exit in water. So what are the things I have to take into account? First is that inlet of water, head loss due to inlet, head loss due to contraction in pipe, head loss due to enlargement in pipe, as well as head loss at the outlet of the pipe. So these 4 head losses we have to take into account. So we can will determine this minor losses first, and then we'll substitute the corresponding formulas, major sum and thing later. So we'll calculate these minor losses first. So remember that head loss at the inlet, head loss due to contraction, head loss due to enlargement, and head loss at the outlet. So 4 minor losses we have to account here as per the diagram or as per the problem which is given here. So first head loss we'll take it up, that is inlet, that is HI, which is nothing but 0.5 V1 squared by 2G. Next is due to contraction, that is between the first pipe and second pipe there is contraction. So HC is equal to 0.5 V2 squared by 2G. But already we have established a relationship between V2 and V1, that is V2 is equal to 4V1. So this is the relationship we have established. So I am substituting here 0.5 into 4V1 the whole square divided by 2G. So this becomes 0.5 into 16 into V1 squared by 2G. So HC will be equal to 8 into V1 squared by 2G. So this is head loss due to contraction. Next one is third part. Between the second and third part there is an enlargement. So head loss due to enlargement will be, generally the formula will be V1 minus V2 the whole squared by 2G, that is if there are 2 pipes. Now there is an enlargement from second pipe to third pipe. So the formula becomes V2 minus V3 the whole square divided by 2G. Okay, so it becomes HE is equal to, instead of V2 I can substitute V1, 4V1, and instead of V3 we have derived already, that is 1.77 V1 the whole square, that is here I will be writing V3 is equal to 1.77 V1 divided by 2G. Now this becomes 2.23 the whole square V1 squared by 2G. So head loss due to enlargement will be 4.973 V1 squared by 2G. And fourth one is at the outlet of the pipe, HO, because the water is getting outletted, which is V2 squared by 2G. Here only from the third pipe the outlet is there. So here it becomes V3 squared by 2G. So instead of V3 I can substitute 1.77 V1 the whole squared by 2G. So which is head loss at the outlet is equal to 3.1329 V1 squared by 2G. Now we are going to write the minor losses. Okay, minor losses we have determined. Now we'll write the major losses. So major losses will be equal to, because we don't know the value of V1 here as usual, because in the earlier time we haven't accounted our minor loss and then we have calculated our V1, but here we are accounting our minor losses also, so that we have to take into account of that also. So I'll be keeping is that major loss separately and minor loss separately. So this is the major losses. Now minor losses. Now major loss will be 4F1 L1 V1 squared by 2G D1 plus 4F2 L2 V2 squared by 2G D2 plus 4F3 L3 V3 squared by 2G D3. Now we can substitute the value as, I'll write ML. Okay, major loss. So MAJ loss is equal to 4 into 0.005 into 400 into V1 square by 0.4 into 2 into 9.81, or I can keep it as 2g. That will be simpler. 4 into 0.005 into 200 into 4 V1 square by 2g into 0.2 plus 4 into 0.005 into 300 into 1.77 V1 square. Be careful that we have to put the whole thing, divided by 0.3 into 2g. On simplifying, see all the terms are in V1, so on simplifying I'll be getting my major loss as 403.14 into V1 squared by 2g. Okay, now I can sum up all the minor losses and major losses. Okay, so sum of major loss and minor loss will be equal to, so first loss is head loss at the inlet, so which is, I'll put like this, so 0.5 V1 squared by 2g, then head loss due to contraction 8 V1 squared by 2g, then head loss due to enlargement, which is 4.973 V1 squared by 2g, then head loss at the due to outlet, that is 3.1329 V1 squared by 2g. So these four things are minor losses plus our major loss 403.14 V1 squared by 2g. On the whole, the sum will be equal to 419,746 V1 squared by 2g. So this will be equal to the difference in level of the water pipe, that is the total loss will be equal to the different H. Okay, that is what we have seen earlier. So H will be equal to 419.746 into V1 squared by 2g. Here our H1 value is given as 16, so I can directly substitute 16. So V1 square will be equal to 16 into 2 into 9.81 divided by 419.746. So V1 is equal to root of 16 into 2 into 9.81 divided by 419.746. My V1 value will be equal to, after simplification, it is 0.864 meter per second. So discharge is nothing but A1 V1, so which is pi by 4 into 0.4 square into 0.864. So Q value will be equal to 0.1085 meter cube per second. On writing it in liters, we have to multiply by 1000, that is 108.5 liters per second. So this is the answer. Thank you and happy learning.